Hello everyone and welcome to today's weather video. Just got back from outside and it is quite warm here in Northern Virginia. It's probably about 80 degrees actually. It might actually be a bit warmer than that, but it's still pretty decent outside and you can definitely hear all the cicadas and it's annoying everything. So we're going to talk about the building heat that is moving from west to east, mainly in the northern part of our country, and it is bringing record temperatures from the northwest. Will be bringing it all the way to the northeast. So today is Wednesday, June 2nd, and by the way, I just got my second Pfizer shot, so I am all good to go. If you haven't gotten your shot already, I definitely encourage you to get vaccinated, and for all of you that have, awesome way to go. All right, so over here in the northwest, we have multiple heat advisories, excessive heat watches, and excessive heat warnings, basically from Northern California, Oregon, Washington, even parts of Idaho, Nevada, spreading into Montana. And these temperatures basically in the valleys. Now out here in the west, you have a lot of mountains and then you have a lot of valleys. So a lot of these heat advisories and warnings basically are for, the valleys basically. In parts of these areas. So no, Seattle, Portland are not seeing, record high temperatures. They are seeing well above temperatures, but these temperatures that we're talking about are record breaking in the valleys basically, and temperatures in like Redding, California, well over 100 degrees. It's been like that for actually the past day or so, and it's going to be continuing to at least tomorrow. So the valleys in Northern California, and again, most of the places in, again, the lower parts of the Pacific Northwest are seeing temperatures well into the 80s, 90s, and even some low 100s. Now, this is all being part of a ridge of high pressure that is trying to move its way from the northwest over into the northeast, and with it basically the temperatures are just going to be soaring well into the 90s and even low 100s in parts of even the upper plains in the Dakotas, Minnesota, and near the Great Lakes Superior. We're expecting temperatures over the next couple of days well into the 90s and even possibly the hundreds here in the Dakotas. This is very, very warm for this time of year. Now, yes, the plains can see 100-degree weather here because a lot of the times when you have heat surging, again, this is all plains and everything, so you don't have mountains here in the middle part of the country to stop basically any of the flow of heat basically coming into parts of these areas. So we are going to see the heat crank up. Now, I haven't seen any advisories posted here in parts of the upper plains and Midwest. However, I do expect that either tonight or tomorrow, Thursday, going into Friday. And this heat is just going to be moving right across parts of the Canadian, obviously the border. The border between the United States and Canada. So even places in the Canadian provinces up here are going to see record breaking temperatures and everything. Now, it's not going to get as quite warm here in the middle and the southern part of the actual plains, mainly because, again, this flow is going to be basically coming up from the southwest. So it's not really going to be hitting down into parts of like Texas and Oklahoma. You're going to see average temperatures. The record setting is going to be all the way up here across the northern tier. Going into Thursday, Friday, and then this weekend, and then going into next week, that's when we're going to see the ridge of high pressure move over here into the northeast and pump up a lot of warm air. And it's going to be very, very close to record breaking. If not, we'll have some locations in the northeast record breaking. New England, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, maybe parts of western Massachusetts, interior parts of New York, Pennsylvania, and maybe some down here into the mid-Atlantic like DC. I do see us going into the 90s early next week. That's not record setting, but it definitely is hot for the beginning of June. Our average temperature here in the beginning of June are about 80 to 82 degrees. So it's going to be at least 10 to 15 degrees above average at the end of this week and going into early next week. So if you live in the northern part of the country, you're going to be seeing a lot of heat over the next several days. So It is still early, obviously. It's not even officially summer. That comes on June 20th. But if you're outside, make sure you drink a lot of water. This is pretty much the first big heat wave of multiple areas stretching from the Pacific Northwest, the upper plains, and parts of the interior Northeast over this next week, basically. So make sure that you keep cool, hydrated, and stay inside as much as you can, especially if you don't have to be outside. And if you are outside doing work or anything, make sure that you take multiple breaks, so obviously you don't get heat exhaustion. So that is today's weather video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another one hopefully soon. Take care, everyone, and stay cool.